It's time to talk about canine aversion again, but this time we're going to be looking into one of her arguing techniques and her evidence, which explains why what we present about dogs and what we present about her videos is, according to her, wrong, biased, misleading, blah 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 blah. So, let's talk about her use of the media and dogbite.org. Those are the two main factors in today's video, as recently, believe it or not, I've been having a conversation with her. And she had no fucking clue. Because like I had spoken about before, canine aversion has decided to block me and stop me from leaving any YouTube comments on her videos because apparently I'm this evil cyberbully that's harassing her and her family. But as we've spoken about before on my previous video about her, that is nothing more than an empty bullshit claim made up by her to stop her fanbase watching my videos and actually seeing what I had to say on the topic of dog behaviour. So I decided that the best way for me to display my opinions in the hopes of speaking to other dog haters within her comment section was to pretend to be someone else. As some of you guys may already know, CJ made a fake dog hater account months ago in order to catch out canine aversion and her true opinions about what we should do about dogs, which helped with exposing her true opinions about dogs, being that she wants them all to be killed and exterminated. I mean, she's recently been going on Reddit about how they all need to be annihilated because apparently, according to her, dogs are rapists!
That is totally unrealistic.
Absolutely redonkulous.
You could say that again.
So I decided to do the same thing, but instead of making a fake account, I decided to take my backup channel, remove any content and comments that showed any clues that this account belonged to me, change the name of the account because it used to be called TheDarkReindeer Backup, and pretend to be a random user who just had something to say about her video. So I changed my account name to A Closer View on Life, and left a comment on her video, pro dog equals anti-child, which I had to be honest, was more of a video using manipulation to make her fanbase feel like if you don't agree with them and don't support the idea that all dogs need to be removed from society, then you support kids being killed by them. Her video was not really an educational video, neither was it exposing anything, it was another attempt of manipulation, so I decided to display my opinions about that video and the topic in question. I left this comment. Now, I want you to look at this comment and notice that within this comment that I left, I wasn't hot-headed, I wasn't angry, I wasn't rude or aggressive, I wasn't hating on her or being mean to her. In fact, as much as it was against my pride, I kinda sucked up to her a tiny bit. Which brings us on to the topic of media, news stories and dogbite.org, because canine aversion fell right for the trap. Having no idea it was me, she responded to my comment and... to say she was a little bit rude, well, you be the judge.
You evidently did not watch the video. It has nothing to do with how dogs are raised or trained. They are natural predators and all are unpredictable. You cannot train or love instinct out of a dog. I provided evidence for this in my video. Well-raised, well-trained dog attacks unprovoked all the time. It's how you raise them is a dangerous myth that is costing children their faces and lives. Please see the links I provided in the description box and actually watch the video. They are all unpredictable, no matter how they are raised. You are perpetuating a dangerous myth. Not all dogs will bite. Not all drunk drivers will crash. You are increasing risk of injury and death by owning a dog. They are all ticking time bombs. They need to go!
Okay. So before I get onto her sources, I want to make something very clear. And I don't care how much of her fans whine about this, but the truth is, canine aversion is in no position to have a go at people for not watching her fucking videos when she admitted herself that even when she calls my videos biased and presenting misleading information, she hasn't watched any of my videos about dog haters.
Dark Reindeer, I haven't watched any of your videos about me. I don't care. I honestly couldn't care less what you're doing and saying about me. I think I've tried, I tried watching one of your videos. It wasn't even a video about me. I tried watching a video of yours once. I couldn't get through 10 seconds because of your pressured speech and your hyperactivity and just how quickly you talk. It just gave me anxiety.
And her reasoning behind this is because my accent and the way that I speak, which is, like everybody else in fucking society, gives her anxiety. But let's get onto the sources and facts that she presented within her video about how being pro-dog means you are against kids, because one thing I have criticised canine aversion for in the past is how when she's debating, she relies solely on the media. She relies on news stories about dog attacks and what the media tells her. which has been pointed out before does not represent the dog population and dog owner population and their capability of preventing an attack as a whole. Because, as one study pointed out, when talking about the dog bite demographic, there is no comprehensive study of dog bite demographics. It's very hard to carry out and find results about dog bite related injuries involving and dealing with all elements or aspects of what happened. Take one of your stories for example you linked in your description, which doesn't actually explain why the dog attacked and how the attack occurred. This is the issue when we're talking about dog bite demographics. There is no evidence to claim that all dog bites and attacks are unprovoked, especially when many studies and sources will tell you that dogs don't just randomly attack. There is always a trigger with every attack involving a dog. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you debate about dog bites and dog bite related injuries, news stories are not very reliable sources because they don't deal with overall numbers and statistics. This is the media we're talking about. You really think they're going to waste their time writing a story about a small cut Timmy got from stealing the dog's toy? It's important to look at the statistics because they display how dangerous dogs are within society, and the solution to how to deal with them. Such as this study carried out by a law firm that explains, like many other sources that I have shown you, approximately 4.5 million dog bites occur each year. The vast majority of them are minor and require no medical attention. As stated by the Centre of Disease Control, only 0.3% of all dog bites that occur each year require serious medical attention. As the law firm also pointed out, dog bite fatalities account for 0.005778% of total dog bites, which, if you know what you're talking about, isn't a big number. These are numbers presented which account for also the news stories that you present in your videos. These stories fall into these numbers, so here's my next question. Why did you claim in your next comment that they were irrelevant?
The percentage is irrelevant. You are misusing statistics to make the problem look smaller than it is. Most dog lovers try to use this description, and it's sickening. I made a video about this. The numbers are huge. Just in the USA, 800,000 dog bites require medical care every 365 days. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know what you are talking about. It's a fact that dogs are unpredictable natural predators. It's a fact that well-trained dogs raised in loving homes by responsible owners attack unprovoked and disfigure kids every day. Please stop spreading lies. You are the reason people continue to buy dogs and believe that they are safe to have around their kids. People like you have blood on their hands.
Tell us your embarrassing problem. Well, it's a bit embarrassing, really. So that's why I'd rather you point that huge big camera at my hairy man bag.
How am I misusing statistics? I think when you look at it, it's the other way round, love, because it's you that's misusing the statistics, and I have proof to back that up. Being your comment right here when you talk about the 800,000 dog bite number that requires surgery. Even when that 800,000, as pointed out by the Centre of Disease Control, makes up to that rare 0.3%, you still over-exaggerate the number here. She then makes a comparison about dogs and drink driving, two very different things, but we'll let that one slide for now because I want to ask you another question. How are these percentages irrelevant? They are the percentages, numbers and statistics of collected data about dog bites and attacks that present the overall statistics on how many dogs attack and how many of them are serious. So you're claiming that the percentage is irrelevant, but yet the percentage makes up for all the fucking stories that you present in your videos. So according to your own argument, what you present is irrelevant because they're part of the statistic. How do you know they are unprovoked? As the study explains, you cannot tell because many of the stories and studies talking about this don't take into account all the elements that occurred. Unbiased sources. So what about dogbite.org then? There was one story about a lady who was attacked by a pit bull and was giving it water. Yes, this was a tragedy, but the fact that dogbite.org have the nerve to say that this is a fucking factor on why all pit bulls attack shows a pure example of not only fear-mongering, but cherry-picking to spread fear. They've taken the one story of a lady giving water to a pit bull and then somehow it attacks, and they're making it a fucking trigger now. This is a pure example of fear-mongering, but if you point that out to her, she will claim that you have blood on your hands. This is what she does. She makes you feel guilty for forming your own different opinion. After dealing with this, I then left another comment, and this time I decided to take a bit of a risk by mentioning my name, aka the Dark Reindeer, by saying maybe the Dark Reindeer was right about you. Now, there are two reasons why I did this. One, I wanted to see how she would react to someone saying the Dark Reindeer was right about you, and secondly, I wanted to back up the claims that my fanbase were making about how they were being blocked for simply liking my videos or being fans of mine. And guess what? She deleted it! The comment is now gone! No explanation. I asked her for an explanation on another video, but she completely ignored me. There was no explanation to why she deleted that comment, but it's gone now. Also, when looking into dog bite related injuries and fatalities, one important thing to remember that breed is not a factor. According to a 15-year-old study in the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association, they identified multiple factors that played a part in the dog bite related injuries they discovered. From no able-bodied person being present to stop it occurring, the victim having no family relationship with the dog owner failing to spray and neuter their dog, and other factors too. Notice how breed is never a factor. When looking into the percentages of each other, the highest percentage of attacks occur due to no one being present to prevent it from happening or stop it in the first place. That made up to 87%. But these overall factors make up to about 76% of all dog bite related injuries. So to argue that they are unprovoked like you did in your comment is incorrect, because the statistics and numbers will point out otherwise. When you look at the majority of her sources, you will start to see the problem with what she presents. Take one of the sources that she references in the description of this video. It's a Facebook page that's called Down With Dogs, where they present no solid information, they just post random dog bite stories they find online. With dogbite.org, they never present the overall percentages and factors of dog bite related injuries. They also like to cherry pick a lot of their sources, such as their 0.5 link, where they cherry picked this statistic but ignored how the rest of the article explains how beneficial dogs are to both adults and children, and how we can easily prevent these situations from occurring. Let's keep in mind that dogbite.org is not run by any experts in dog behaviour. It's run by a web designer who's been on a campaign to ban all pit bulls after she was allegedly attacked by one. This is a website that is against educating people, especially children, about dog bite prevention because according to them, it's absurd. Dogbite.org thinks that educating people about dogs, which is something that has been proven to be effective with lowering the number of dog bites occurring each year, should not be taught, and that the only solution is to ban the breeds.
What a bunch of dicks!
Because the truth is, you have no fucking idea if all dogs are unpredictable because there is no way to prove it, as the studies have pointed out. There is no scientific way to analyse the entire dog population for capability, so no. That is not a reason to punish everyone because of your hatred, because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You hate dogs so much that you want them dead, and you will exploit anybody's suffering in order to do so. You did it on your old channel. On your old channel, you constantly exploited dog bite victims for your own gain. Your argument is to punish everyone for what is a rare situation. And yes, when it does happen, it's horrifying. No one should have to go through the pain of a dog attack. Which is why society have strict laws and punishments put in place to punish those who fail their responsibility. But your solution is unfair and pretty extreme. Kill the species for something a large majority of that species are never going to be a part of. By your logic, we should start killing all humans or killing any other animal that has the capability of killing someone because, like you said, the percentages are irrelevant because it still happens. Yes, it does happen, but that doesn't mean everybody should be punished because of your hatred. I tried to reach out to you with a different approach, but you went on attack the moment I left that comment, without even knowing who I was. And the truth is, this is why some people within my fanbase never want to comment on her channel, because of the way she acts towards people giving their views. Which is why I'm getting so frustrated myself with even trying to reach out to her. I'm sorry that I rather deal with experts on dog behaviour than biased dog hating websites. I'm sorry I look at statistics rather than media's one-sided stories. I'm sorry I won't listen to pit bull hating websites who think proven dog bite prevention methods are absurd. I'm sorry you don't like it, but I'm not sorry for presenting it. But I welcome you in my fanbase to disprove what I say. I'm not here to censor people like you. I'm not here to lie to people like you. What's your excuse?